What do you do when life falls apart? When your dreams die in a foreign land, and all you're left with is heartbreak and an empty future? This is the story of Ruth and Naomi, a story of loss, loyalty, and the unshakable hope of God's redemption. Naomi left Bethlehem during a famine with her husband and 2 sons. In Moab, a foreign land, she watched her world crumble. Her husband died, then her 2 sons, gone. Now she's left with nothing. Just 2 Moabite daughters-in-law and a heart that's broken beyond words. She tells them, "Go back, I have nothing left to give you." Bitterness has taken root. She even renames herself Mara, which means bitter. 1 daughter-in-law leaves, but Ruth, she stays. She looks Naomi in the eyes and says words that echo through eternity. "Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God." Ruth chapter 1, verse 16. In a world that tells us to chase comfort, Ruth chose sacrifice. In a culture that praised independence, she chose faithful presence. She didn't see a hopeless old widow. She saw a woman worth loving and a God worth trusting. Back in Bethlehem, Ruth becomes a gleaner, picking up leftovers in the fields just to survive. But God was writing a bigger story. She meets Boaz, a man of honor, integrity, and kindness, and through a beautiful twist of divine providence, Ruth becomes his wife, from widow to wife, from foreigner to family, from hopeless to honored. And here's the stunning part. Ruth becomes the great-grandmother of King David, and in her lineage, Jesus Christ. The Messiah would come from a grieving widow who refused to give up on love or on God. You may feel forgotten. You may feel like your story is over. But hear this. God does his greatest work in the ruins. He turns graves into gardens, and he writes redemption into the darkest chapters. So if you're in a season of loss, hold on, because the same God who redeemed Naomi and Ruth is the God who's not finished with your story either. If this touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to know God still restores. Like, comment, and follow for more Bible stories that speak to the soul.